readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreons.
Thank you to the Pit Fighters, the First Swords, and all of the Bright Stars, Truth and Courage. Hello and welcome today to the channel. I am Ed, this is Will. We are together, the Brothers Gwyn, and we're going to be talking today about what we would like to read in the month of May.
Yes.
May's always a good month for me. It's sunny. Enough said. What about you?
Enough said.
Enough said.
Yeah, well, we've got a lot of plans, and so let's just get straight on into it. What do we intend to read in May?
Ed, the first book for me is A Time of Courage. This is a lovely American edition.
Who's that by?
I absolutely love that. Papa Gwyn. Yeah, Papa Gwyn, that guy. I have been loving my reread of The Faith from the Fallen so far. It's been so much fun. It's just awesome. I love being back in this world of the Banished Lands. This is a continuation of the Faith from the Fallen series, and this is the trilogy that I see is least talked about by Papa Gwyn, and I think deserves to be right up there alongside Malice and Shadow of the Gods. A Time of Courage, I know, is going to be a big battle fest because... Oh, nearly spoiled it then. But yeah, I absolutely love being back with these characters. The references to The Faith from the Fallen, which takes place about 150 years, 130 years prior to this trilogy. I just love those references. It makes me, you know, like my skin, the hairs on my skin stand on end because it's just mentioning these characters that I miss so much.
That we have so much attachment to.
I love A Time of Courage and I can't wait to get there. I really love being back with A Time of Dread and A Time of Blood. I just forgot how good this trilogy was.
Very nice. And yeah, we did talk about in the Discord that we'll be doing a read-along of The Faith from the Fallen later this year, and that will be followed by a read-along of Blood and Bones.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for that, but yeah, I cannot wait to
I'm
get
happy
to
to
it.
reread it again and again and
And
again
again.
and again and again
And again.
and again.
And so the first book I'm going to be talking about today is a book that we are both going to read in May, and that is The Malevolent Seven by Sebastian de Castell. He is one of our favourite authors. Mm-hmm. He is so consistent. I've read 10 books by him and absolutely loved every single one.
Show off.
I know.
Well, I've read 4 and I love them more. See? You win if
Competition, competitive brothers. And so yeah, he's the writer of The Greycoats and the famed trio of Falco, Kess and Brassi, who are 3 of the best characters of all time. Mm-hmm. No argument there. It's not subjective.
Best friends
it's
subjective. Could have.
Yeah. And yeah, I just absolutely love them. It's brotherhood at its best. And The Malevolent Seven, reading the premise, it sounds like it's going to be a very quirky read, very funny, and just typical Sebastian.
Because if you just think, Sebastian had 3 amazing characters in The Greycoats.
Yeah.
Now he's going to have 7.
How
including
insane.
a cat. It looks like a cat, doesn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we really cannot wait to read this. And I think we'll be doing a review for it on the channel.
We undoubtedly will.
And
actually, Sebastian has paid us a lot of money to do it.
Well, actually, according to Sebastian, we've actually already read it and said it's the greatest book of all time. Yeah. So if you've not already, or maybe it might not actually be out yet, maybe it'll be out in a few days, the May releases video by authors. And Sebastian, he's so funny. Yeah. So please do check that out.
He's done the best pitch we have seen yet.
Honestly, it's just absolutely brilliant and had us laughing out loud. Yeah. So yeah, that's
what he does.
7.
That's what he does.
What's next up, Ed?
The next one for me, I have been having a bit of a Cormac McCarthy binge, especially as I get into the frame of...
I didn't notice that. You've read 5 books by Cormac McCarthy, and I didn't know you were going through a Cormac McCarthy binge.
Yeah, could be 6.
Wow.
But yeah, I've been going through a bit of a Cormac McCarthy phase again. You know, this comes around, you know, once a year or so. I want to reread them all, and I'm reading new Cormac McCarthy books now. And the first one I'm going to be doing that is new is The Passenger. Boy, have I been excited to read this. Cormac McCarthy just inspires me to read more, to learn more, and to write more as well. And that's a key reason why I love to read his work, because it is so inspiring and motivating. Now, The Passenger is a book that I've been desperate to read. This and Stella Maris are his newest releases. Their release is a duology. I think Stella Maris is more of kind of a companion novel to this rather than a standalone novel. Well, on its own, standalone. But yeah, The Passenger is... What's it about, Will?
Well, it's set... well, it's quite different. It's got that kind of common McCarthy-ness, I guess, that we ascribe to McCarthy, where it's the exploration of manifest destiny and our belonging in this world, or lack of it, basically. Mm-hmm. But it's got a bit more heart than we would commonly put to McCarthy. So we've got someone who he's doing some diving for, working for a company, and he discovers like a crashed plane and with passengers dead inside, but one of the passengers is missing, and so he kind of gets tied into some
like a
plot.
Yeah.
where some people are trying to discover why this body is missing, and he's kind of pulled into that, but then a lot of it is his own more personal, intimate story, and that's just one of the arcs within it. And yeah, it's really about kind of just discovering his past, where it's very enigmatic character to begin with, and yeah, it has got a lot of heart to it. It's a very intense book, but I think that you'll really enjoy that.
Thank you.
Next up, I have Dreaming the Hound by Amanda Scott. This is part of the Brothers Gwyn read-along that we have going on the channel, so please do feel free to jump on. We will have a review of Dreaming the Eagle out very soon, or maybe we do already. We'll both be doing it. And wait, Ed, is that your copy?
Why do you have to do that?
Why
do you have to do that?
Brothers can't let one.
Why
did
you have to do that?
It is Papa Gwyn's book. So yeah, I guess Ed's just better at stealing.
Amanda Scott, if you're watching, our father was the biggest fan of you before we were. Can we send these and get them signed? That'd be amazing.
That would be awesome.
That'd be awesome.
But
anyway.
yeah, so this is book 3. This is a fantastic historical fiction series so far from the 2 books that I've read, and it is the historical fiction series that feels the most like it's fitting for fantasy readers, because there are elements that feel quite fantastical. It's very epic in scope, and yeah, it's a very expansive story, but with an intimate heart within it as well, with the core cast of characters that it's another one that is character driven, and we love a character driven story. And the cast, it's weird, it's got quite a small cast within such an epic story, doesn't it? And every single one of those characters is explored so well, where you feel so attached to them. You either love them or you love to hate them.
And this book, I've read it, and this is the book where, I mean, you might have hated the Romans before, but once you get to the end of this, you will not have felt hatred burn like that through reading about any characters whatsoever. Like, Will, you're going to be
I know
crushed.
What's going to happen.
Yeah,
but I know quite a bit about the history.
But Dreaming the Hound is a fantastic book, and I cannot wait to reread it, because we've been doing a great read-along on our Discord channel. Lots and lots of people have been absolutely loving it. You know, everyone was talking, we're seeing their comments. Has been so exciting, hasn't it? And Dreaming the Hound will be no exception. So hopefully, if you want to join in the read along, head on down in the link below to our Discord channel. Talk to us about it. You can always catch up. There's plenty of time. We're doing 1 book a month. May is the book of Dreaming the Hound, and then June will be book 4, which is Dreaming the Serpent Spear.
And if you don't think you'll catch up, still please join in, because we'll be happy to talk about Dreaming the Eagle and any of the books that you can actually catch up to on that chat, because there's I think about 100 people have been commenting on that Discord, all reading Dreaming the Eagle, which is absolutely fantastic. We love to spread the love for historical fiction, and also of course books that we love, and this is no exception.
And the next one for me is Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness. I'm very conscious that I would like to read more classics, and Heart of Darkness is considered to be one of the great books. Now, it is a story of, is it a bunch of marauders basically travelling through the Congo, and it is that there was then taken into Apocalypse Now, which is about people, I think the military travelling through Vietnam, weren't they? And I know that one of the central characters, Judge Holden, was heavily inspired in this. One reason why I want to read Heart of Darkness so much is because I read Books Are Made Out of Books, which is all about Cormac McCarthy's kind of corpus, isn't it? And it's about looking at all the references that he in his text made to other works of literature, because that guy has read more books than I could ever read, and I'm a booktuber.
Heart of Darkness is they're looking for somebody, and it's a book that I think it has dated in some ways, but in others, especially the latter half, I felt so tense. And it is absolutely brilliant how kind of that tension and sense and suspense really builds throughout the story. And don't read the end.
I'm just seeing how many pages it was. But I'm really looking forward to reading it. I've heard so many great things about it. It might be a little bit dated at times, but at the same time, I'm sure I will take something from this text.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm excited to read it.
Very nice, Ed. And next up, I was meant to read it in April, but then there was something which I'll talk about in our April reads, which pushed it back. But I have True Grit, which I am going to read in May. Why are you upset?
If you push it back one more time, I'm disowning you.
First time I mentioned it was April.
Brother Gwyn.
First time I mentioned it was April, so this is the first time.
I know. If you push it back,
so I don't get 3 warnings, I get 2.
Yeah, straight 2.
And so I recently watched the film again, which I absolutely love, of True Grit, and it's just so good, and I cannot wait to read the source material. Well, I watched them both actually.
John Wayne.
Both. So I watched the John Wayne one, the original film, which I think the new one. by far. It's what's her name?
Haley
Steinfeld. Same. She is incredible at the court, and Matt Damon is brilliant as the Texas Ranger as well.
I just wish it was John Wayne who was Rooster Cogburn, because I can't understand a word Jeff Bridges says. He's like Tom Hardy if Tom Hardy was older.
Well, Jeff Bridges is good in it, but John Wayne was incredible.
I think, did he win an award? Did he win a BAFTA or something for it? I
think
he might have done. Maybe. You are becoming more Elijah Wood by the day, Will.
Hopefully.
And the next one for me is Kinsler by Jay Kristoff. I'm loving going through Jay Kristoff's works at the moment and looking at the Lotus Wars trilogy. It is well up there. It is Japanese samurai-inspired steampunk fantasy at its best. The main character is a young girl, and she is written so perfectly. She is just so much fun to be behind. You know, like usually when the protagonist is a teenage girl, it can feel. How would you describe it? It would feel.
Well, any younger character can feel a bit
sometimes
immature.
It's just not done well. It feels immature, and you actually usually don't like the characters. I mean, who likes teenagers anyway? Not me. Not you, I'm sure, because you're 20 now.
No, yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, but when you
didn't even like teenagers when I was 19.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but this character, the main character in The Lotus Wars, she is written so brilliantly. Like, you really, really can get behind her motivations, and the relationships that she has with other characters is just brilliant. Jay Kristoff has a spark to his writing, a flair that sets him, head and shoulders above many, many other writers, because he just has this way of writing that is so much fun, so elegant, so graceful, at times so efficient and evocative as well. And I just love reading his work. He's really got a great sense of humour, and the action is just written so perfectly. So I'm really looking forward to reading Kinsler.
Yeah, very nice. I loved the Empire of the Vampire book, and I can't wait for book 2. And I need to read more by Jay Kristoff. Next up, I have a book I'll be listening to, and that is Ghostwater, Book 5 of the Cradle series by Will White. I, at the beginning of the year, set myself the goal of reading one book a month of this series, and surprise, I've actually kept to it so far. And so, May, 5th month of the year, 5th book of Cradle. And so, it's more of kind of what I've been saying for the past few months. They're really fun short stories, good palate cleansers, very engaging and immersive, very quirky. I love all the kind of answers to the mysteries that we get in each book, but also so many more questions as well. And it seems like it's just limitless, the amount of knowledge that I'm going to learn about this world that Will White has created.
Very nice. And the last one for me is I'm going to be tackling Moby Dick by Herman Melville. And I have been wanting to read this probably for years, really. I think I read it at school, to be honest. But when you open the first page in like a high school or a secondary school textbook,
and it's got notes in it,
and it says this happens in the last page. So it told me the ending, and I was really upset. I probably should have known the ending anyway. There might have been a film of Moby Dick actually that I watched as well. I vaguely remember something bad happening to a white whale, but Anyway, I'm really, really looking forward to reading Moby Dick. Again, this is one of the inspirations behind Blood Meridian. By
that just sums up Moby Dick. Something bad.
At the end, something bad happens to a white whale. But I'm really looking forward to reading all about the characters.
One of the greatest works of fiction ever.
Summarised.
It's seminal text that's been recommended. Something bad happens to a white whale at the end.
I think we should do a series where we just summarise that in as stupid way as possible.
All these really important books.
I didn't even try and come across stupid.
Like Blood Meridian, some bald man terrorises everyone. Anyway. That just really got to me.
Heart of Darkness, people get lost in the jungle.
Yeah, exactly. Next, I have a release in a book that's coming out in June, but we've been lucky enough to be sent an early arc.
Yeah, let me summarise this for you. Martial artist in a fantasy world.
Well, that actually sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
And that is it's the Combat Codes by Alexander Darwin. And so, as I said, we were lucky enough to be sent an early arc of this, and so, so glad.
Yeah.
And very thankful to Orbit. And I really cannot wait to read it. It doesn't sound like it. I've heard factually that it's very like martial arts inspired.
Oh yeah, I think Alexander Darwin is. I think he's a jiu-jitsu practitioner, and he is at a really, really high level. And I know that Jimmy Nuts, who also I believe does jiu-jitsu, read this quite a while ago when it was a self-published fantasy, because it's recently been picked up by Orbit, and he absolutely loved it, and I'm really looking forward to reading it myself, which will be hopefully this month. If not, it'll be the first few days of June. I will smash it out. So there we go.
It has a quote by Fonda Lee on the back, so if you're not hooked, you should be now.
Thank you so much for watching.
Whoa.
Joking.
Whoa.
Psych.
Next up, I have The Road to Rome by Ben Kane, Book 3 and the finale to his Forgotten Legion trilogy. This is historical fiction. I've really enjoyed the first 2 installments. I think I preferred Book 1 because there's a gladiator-esque aspect to it, where that's kind of lost in the Book 2, but Fabiola became an absolutely incredible character, and she is incredible, and I love how it's the story of these twins, basically. They've been separated and they're trying to fight to be back together, but their stories are becoming intertwined with kind of the grander elements and machinations of Rome as the Republic seems to be falling, and characters such as Caesar are taking a more prominent role. Are you right there, Ed? What are you laughing at?
I don't know.
Okay. And last up, I have Book 2 of The Sandman by Neil Gaiman. I love Book 1. My friend Max very kindly bought it for me for my birthday. I'm just going to try and ignore this because I just have I've asked him, haven't I? So I can't do any more. And so this is Book 2 containing Volume 4 and 5 of Sandman. So yeah, really cannot wait to read it. And yeah, looking forward to seeing more of Neil Gaiman's creativity unleashed. This is really weird. Okay, anyway,
you know what happens? Ed
gets giggly. See, this is the thing. People are probably thinking I'm being really weird, just carrying on, not engaging with you. But I know that Ed gets kind of these giggles, and he can't explain why he's laughing.
I think it's because you said the word
gladiator.
You said gladiator instead of gladiator. That's it. That's how the bar is so low.
Ed, you've gone so red because you're laughing so much.
It's an intense experience.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching. Please let us know what you intend to read in May. Hopefully you're looking forward to hearing some of our thoughts on these books. Let us know if there's any of these you'd like us to do a review on, because we said we will be for Malevolent 7 at least. And so yeah, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Truth and courage, the Brothers Gwyn.